Good evening. My name is Devontae Ewing, aka DJ Thunderbase, and this is The Chaotic Minds. I am joined here with my co-hosts.
Hello, I am Henry David Montney Jr., also known as Mayhem the Heart's Mace. Hey, how you guys doing today?
Hello, this is Dark Trooper. How you all doing this evening on this lovely, cool evening?
And hello tonight, everybody. I am Dominant Visions, or you can just simply call me Dom.
Oh, listen, he's a new. This is his first episode with us tonight.
Congratulations.
So, yes.
Thank you.
And so let's start off this evening with our weekly weather report. In the mid-Michigan area, we are going to be looking at a low of 30 tonight, with getting down to around 29:30, and we should expect to see sunrise around 7:30 tomorrow, and with a high of 55 tomorrow, and with over the weekend, we should be expecting some rain over the weekend, as well as some snow starting into next week, with a high of 67 as the highest this weekend.
You said a 67?
Yes.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yes, Friday. So Friday is supposed to have a high of 67, and so, but
Nice hot
it's
day.
supposed to be rainy.
So that basically nullifies all the warmth.
Yeah.
Anyway, here over in my neck of the woods, we're going to be up in the 30s again. I agree. And same with 50s. But on the west side of Michigan is going to be a grand total right now is a grand total of 34 degrees in Grand Haven. And sadly, Grand Haven gets all that wind off of Illinois, so they get a lot colder, a lot quicker about that side of the world. But it's not going to be as warm on the west side. It's only this weekend. It's still going to get that rain, but it's only going to be up into the low 50s.
Oh man, that rain hurts so bad.
How can
For all
something
you
so
people out there.
nice how can be something so nice and calm could hurt so much?
For the people that
Injury.
have injuries, such as myself or many other people, former fighters, pro wrestlers such as me, or doing fight choreography and fight coordinating and acting. When it rains, it pours for us, and every drop is just a little bit of a needle to us. That's why
yes.
the Native American heritage, they had these shamans, the elderly, would always be the ones that warn everybody the weather's coming.
Exactly.
And they were right about 90% of the time, which is more than most weathermen.
Yes.
My body usually is right about, hey, it's going to rain. Everybody's like, no, it's not. The weather says it rains. So,
It's not too shabby for our area in the west part, which is the southeast part. Here in the Metro Detroit areas, we does have our unpredictable weather switches on and off. So pertaining to what we show on Friday, our high is pretty much is going to be 64 to 69 degrees, and it's going to be cloudy and partially cloudy. We don't know if we're expecting rain or wind, but we know Saturday has upcoming rain, so participation is expected Friday night.
knowing that you guys are off the river, you might get some rain.
Oh,
We're going to get some flooding if it's about rain that we're going to get.
It's going to rain.
If it's a mixture of rain and wind, then yeah, we're expecting a terminal dip in the weather of like at least from somewhere lower than 50.
Oh my.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But for us,
it's not like here on Monday where it's going to be a low of 40, where it's going to be a high of 41 with a low of 43 on Monday around here in the central Michigan area.
But for us Michiganders, a good brisk 50 is nothing to sneeze at.
Oh, 50 is nice. Oh,
Agreed. I agree as a person who loves the warmth of spring. Although we have
All
47 as the high.
Oh, looks like we're gonna be having an interesting weekend this week with the weather. But for more of that, we'll check in with you guys next week for our next section on the weather. But now let's move on to our next segment of the night, our relationship advice with Mayhem Heartsmace. All
Hello,
right,
guys.
Mayhem. So I hear you got some more relationship advice for us. Let's hear what we got. Let's hear what you got for us this week.
Oh, yes. Oh, last week we talked about communication and whatnot, but we also have to talk about the give or take. Just remember, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to give and take and understand that sometimes you got to work a little harder and push a little harder, and for the other spouse, they have to understand and or see on your side, or you can explain it to them with that communication that I explained. You look back and explain back to both of one another, hey, this is what I'm doing right now and my load, and you're doing this. We have to do these extra things. Which parts can we do together? You do it as a team structure when it comes to relationships. It's not just about one or the other anymore. Now it's a us. Same thing when it comes to once you're living together and you start paying the bills are for you guys united, not just for one person to pay it. Now, when it comes to the understanding that one person in the household is making all the money, that's understandable. What you do now with that is you have a trust understanding where one takes care of the bills while the other one takes care of the money. So everybody always remember, you should be trying to communicate with one another when it comes to that stuff. Let each other know that you have back and forth, and when it comes to a hard goal, that you should always have some kind of thing you can set aside for each other to weigh out the balances. So anything else when it comes to relationships, knowing that communication is the main thing. That's for number one. Number two is the sharing and working of goals. Number three, we're going to be working on with next week. Well, see on you guys have any questions about relationships and see what we can talk about together.
I just had a question in my head. So when you're communicating, I understand the importance of communication, but obviously there will be discord in a relationship from time to time. How do you not end up resenting one another after these arguments?
You play the understanding in your head and know off that it could be a reason. It could be they're irritated because of other reasons is why they blew up on you. Now, if they did say something of such spite or rudeness, it could be out of anger towards one another. You shouldn't be spiting each other over that kind of stuff. That's when you have to sit down and go, hey, you said this during our confrontation last night. I would like to get more on that and just get an understanding that I'm not this kind of person for whatever the allegation is or rudeness they stated. And same thing can go back for vice versa, or just admitting when someone's wrong. In a relationship, I'll admit it right here I do it to my wife all the time. She'll say something and I'll say something and I was wrong. And instead of arguing or having some kind of issue with each other in heat, I go, no, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. That taught me a lesson. Now I can push forward and know from this lesson. And there's times where I am wrong. There's times where I'm right. I've learned this over the time when it comes to many things. You always have to admit, though, and it goes on both sides. Now, sometimes it's harder for the spouse or the other person on the other side to admit when they're wrong. Now, for my wife and everything, no, she admits when she's wrong. She realizes because she has one of those brains that's strategic. She thinks about things and goes, okay, this I have to go through again and realize, what did I do wrong? Same thing goes for me, though. You have to understand that concept. Now, if it was heated, such as you're screaming and yelling, someone's throwing something, it couldn't always be just them, and like they're mad at you. What it could be as well is you had a bad day at work. Something happened. You got hurt a little bit. You're irritated. You came home. You asked your significant other to take out the trash. They didn't take out the trash. It's just another thing to set you off. You stub your toe on the way in. You snap. You throw your phone. You get angry. You look at your phone. Now you cracked it. Now you're really angry. And then you have a communication error when you're talking to the person. They're thinking that you're saying rude things to them instead, and they get all worried. Now, how to correct that error is you can always explain to them, hey, I had a bad day, honey. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Or you can explain to them, I have an anger issue. It's never at you. I'm always angry at everything else, but it's never directed at you. Just understand that. Like, that's something that I have to do, and I did when I first met my wife, and I put everything on the table when we first met. When you do that, and when you get into a relationship, you always have to do that. Put everything on the table, explain your goals. And I'll get to that in a minute. But explaining the issues that I'm angry about things sometimes, and I get mad and I burst out because, being a former fighter and wrestler, I automatically go into charisma and go into rah, and make everything big and make it bigger than it should be. And sometimes with having inherent rage, it keeps going and going and going and escalates. Now, she knows it's never at her. I'm never directing at her. I'm just mad, and it's more like an inanimate object, which is funny and or goofy because you can have a perfectly fine day. You step on a Lego. Your day is not a good day anymore. And that's happened, and it just ruins it. But when it comes to the next, what do you say about that before I go to the next part? Or any other questions?
I think you should just go into the next part.
All right, because just if you ever have altercation, just communicate accordingly or have a third party to help. But you never should end a relationship because of just a small argument. Just to let you guys know. You ever get into an issue, argument, or something small, or I'm just going to dare I say to anybody, politics, just because of somebody with a political view, do not hate, leave, or destroy your significant other's life in any kind of manner because of such things. That stuff changes every 4 years, and you don't want to destroy your life that you built on 10, 20 or more, or you're just trying to and you see a long future with this person. There's many other things to it. Same thing comes to arguments. Just a lot of relationships fall apart because of money. You have a money issue or a problem, know which one of you is good with the money, know which one of you is not good with the money, and you go off that to go, okay, you're going to be the one that's the main holder, while the other one just gains the money and sends it to them and such. I know that for many reasons with many people. As myself as such, if I have spare money after paying the bills, I want to spend it. So I just give it all to the wife. She holds on to it, and I give myself the 10% allowance. It's like the old nuclear family, and it works that way. They keep money, keep everything afloat, and everybody's happy, because a lot of relationships fall apart because of money issues and such like that, and or drama of people having rumors. You should always know and communicate with your friends and or your significant others to make sure there is no such drama or problems. But anything to that part that I stated for you, Dark Trooper, or Dominant Visions?
I do agree with that you should have open communication with your significant other. But I do agree. But I do think that there is a buildup of resentment in some regards when it comes to relationships. When it's just like when it's the little things. The little things are important in a relationship.
That matters most, actually.
Just randomly buying your significant other a thing of flowers.
Yeah.
Or going to get her favorite meal on your way home from work.
Or favorite cookies, favorite ice cream, and
or
such.
A hug when you first come into the work, or a kiss, a peck on the forehead. Little things.
You notice a little tell they do, and you just happen to react just right how they always love. Something of such. Those things matter most when it comes to a relationship, because you'll remember those. Those big moments when you're like, oh, we went on this cool cruise one time, this, and this, or did this, or went into another country or another place, and it was so phenomenal. But You know what really mattered? That time he came up and hugged you. The time that your family member was hurt or in the hospital and he put your hand there and said, "We're going to be okay," or "They'll make it." Bringing in something or opening a present that just happens to be the thing you were reading a book series on and realizing you're missing one book and they just happen to get the newest book that to finish the series for you. That'll matter way more. Well, same thing with the TV series. Oh, you're watching something you really love or you knew they did many years ago and they talked about it. Such as you have a conversation with your significant other and you try to remember things. You ask little things and quirks of what was one of your favorite 90s shows or 2000 shows or cartoon shows or animes. And they just hint off a couple of them and you go and look them up. Now their birthday or Christmas or Hanukkah or such, whatever comes around. Or you just decide to get them a gift because. Get it for them and it's more sentimental. It matters and means more to their heart. Same thing for some people like me, for a collector. I love anime and collectibles and Gundam figures and Transformers and Power Rangers, and even D&D figures and such. I utilize all that as to the heart and enjoy it. My wife will always find the most unique or rare ones that I haven't even found myself, and she'll notice I'll look at something or mention it, and then she'll find it one day. I have some of my rarest are because of her, actually, not the ones that I purchased. But the last thing on the list for relationships before we end this, when I state everything on the table, when you first begin a relationship with somebody, you have this called the honeymoon phase. You have these endorphins. It gets exciting. It's amazing. It's fun. It usually lasts about 6 to 8 months for the honeymoon phase before it goes to the real relationship and finding out who each other are. The best part for that is to sit each other down at a table and go, this is what I bring to the table. This is who I am. This is what I see myself doing in a couple years or such as a dream or reality. And then this is my life goals. And do you want children? Do you not want children? Do you want to try to make so much money? And do you have any inspirations or aspirations? If you don't, would you like to join me on mine? I did that before many times. And a lot of those times you find out who's right and who's wrong in a relationship for you and who you'd like to be with. Now, for me and my wife, over a decade ago, it sat down and did this, and everything was to the perfect line. Been happy ever since. And all the things that I state are things that I do and have no problems, no issues, just do my thing. She does hers, take care of the family, take care of the kids. All right, now back to you,
Right.
DJs on the Debate.
And so look again. So those are some really great advice. And if I were you, I'd be wise to listen to it. It might save your relationship. And speaking of saving something, we're gonna kick it right off into our next category: our safety tips and scam protection.
Okay. So for this, for your safety tips and scams, everybody here can throw a little pointer if they like. I'm going to give you guys pointers and warning signs. When someone's calling you and it's come from an unknown number, and or someone does call and you pick up, you can always state that you're recording and or get a app that does. Some of these new phones come with it automatically. You can hit the button and start recording them. The second you do that, they do not want you to record them. They will hang up on you. They do not want you to have their voice or their information or their scam, so you can figure out where they are at or their phone number. I always repeat back their phone number, stating that there's what state they're from and what phone number, and then finding out later on that it's not from that said state and or phone number. They will call you and leave messages and or try to tell you when you do pick up lies and scams of money you owe or for your car's warranty, amongst other things. they will try to do this, or say that one of your family members is hurt or injured and they need so much money, or they're in bail of jail because of such a car crash and hurt somebody, and try to get your emotions all fluttered so you don't think straight. It's all a lie. It's all a scam. You can always just double check and contact your family member and make sure with them. There have been, how can you say, countries of other origins doing this for a long time and literally raising their kids now to do it. And they're generations upon generations now living in buildings upon buildings, scamming people for a living. And it's fun for them. It's a joke for them, destroying American lives. And it's getting upsetting. I myself have been scammed as such. Many years ago when I was young and dumb and was still learning, I had a nice lady convinced me to give my bank account, amongst other things, up, and that she was going to be giving me a refund for something that I wasn't sure about. Noticing I was losing $700 and something every paycheck just to that. And then finally utilized a tracking with police to get them caught, but never got any of my money back. And that was thousands and thousands of dollars that I didn't realize I was losing. I was working really hard for. So I try to protect other people. I know friends and family and little old ladies that have lost everything, all because of people manipulating and lying and using their emotions to steal your money, or say you owe this much money, or give us your account for this and we'll correct it. Someone hacked your stuff right now. No, they're hacking your stuff as they're trying to scam you. So I play with them sometimes, or scare them, or teach them lessons, or start repeating back certain information that they're trying to hide, and they start freaking out and hanging up on you. There's certain ways, and there's certain hackers and people that are on YouTube as well that help out and stop these hackers, and we appreciate them. And I wish I had the skill to still do that stuff. The younger me, when I was taught by my old friend that's in my studio right now, I was pretty good, and he far better. But these days, no, I don't know nothing around these things like I used to. But,
Also, if
yeah, go ahead.
you get called and they're saying that they are the IRS, definitely a scam. The IRS will not call you.
They will not call you.
Any federal government agency will never call you, because that's how they tip you. That's how you get tipped off that they're coming after you.
They'll knock on your door.
If the federal government or any state or any government thereof wants you, they will come and get you. Also, if, for example, the post office or the UPS or something other, like a delivery service sends you a text message saying, "Hey, by the way, we have your package. If you touch this link, you will automatically tell you how to get your package." That is a lie. That is a scam. The post office does not have your phone number. What they will do is they will leave you a card or a sticky note on your door saying, "This is your package. We have it here at the post office because you weren't home to accept it, to sign for it. Come to this post office and we will give it, and you can sign for it and we will give it to you."
Same thing goes for FedEx. Same thing goes for Amazon and everything. They will contact you appropriately through their apps and or their direct websites and or their emails that you are already subscribed to. If you're getting emails that are strange, that are from a FedEx or from anything else, or a USPS or anything, look at it very clearly. Look at that link very clearly. Start realizing there's different wordings, misspellings. It's very short messaging,
or just symbols.
Yeah, things that don't make sense. And then you notice you're not subscribed to them.
But more importantly, do not click on the link.
Nope.
Oh, and if you get on Discord or on any social media, or particularly on Discord, I see
didn't
this
know
all
that.
the time on Discord. If you see a link that says to, hey, if you click on this link, you'll get a $50 gift card to Steam. Do not
no.
click on that link.
Same thing goes for your Microsoft. There has been a lot of scams recently. Have been text messages. Your Microsoft account needs to be refreshed or renewed, or this, and this, or it's been hacked. Please get this, and this. I did it in a funny way. I gave them a very rude slur for my email. It wasn't my email, and then the password was go F yourself, and in many different kind of nice manners. And they messaged me back, haha, we have your stuff now, thanks, da da da. Messaged me back 30 seconds to 40 seconds later after that. F you, buddy. How dare you? We're going to find you. And I'm like laughing.
Just a bunch of laughing emojis.
Yeah. And then after that, I was blocked. I love reporting them. I report them every day. I report probably 10 to 15 scam calls a day. That is bad. Just me alone. One person. How is that many people scamming that many people constantly? And I'm trying to prevent this. Little old me while I'm working my ass off and doing a bunch of other stuff while we're running this, as well as many other things in our whole corporation.
If I may,
is there anything you want to say?
If I may add on to something pertaining to the whole social media scam things, as what Dark Trooper has repeated about Discord, there's also been going on with other social media such as Meta, like Instagram and Messenger. There's also out there too, such as you have people have the same repeating patterns that say, hello, how you're doing, as if like you knew me. Like after you accept one friend request, they immediately answers you or message you less than a minute, and that lets you know that if you ever see anybody just strangely add you and you just accept the request and they message you like under 1 minute, do not reply. Immediately just report or block.
Yeah, also,
At that
when
point,
someone's calling you,
you should only be accepting requests from people you know to begin with.
Yep.
Exactly.
And
then
if someone's calling you, you can tell them if they're a scammer, and someone's like, yeah, give me a second, let me call you right back.
But however, there's also sometimes
Their phone doesn't exist anymore.
There's duplicate profiles sometimes there too that could either hack someone or just mirroring a friend that you already know with the same messages. Sometimes they even use financial scams through Messenger to also try to get people and asking for your phone number without even giving a reason why.
I got a scam where some person was telling me that they started off friendly. It's like, hey, how you doing? Let's get to know each other. You start talking to each other. Then she suddenly say, oh no, I'm in so much trouble. I'm in a foreign country without my passport and I need money desperately. Can you please wire me the money?
That's a scam.
I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
First of
I've
all,
had girls try that.
This person did it within a couple of weeks, which if any person is asking you for money in a couple of weeks of getting to know you, that is immediately a no.
Yep.
I'm not giving you money. I'm not giving you any of my personal information. Block.
That is a red flag, people. Red card.
That is not just a red flag. That is a Chinese red flag. You're doing a complete flag dance in the middle of Tiananmen Square.
That's more like a
with a massive red beacon on top of its pole.
Flags are on fire, by the way.
That's a caution. That's a caution warning sign with an alarm in the background just going blaring loud.
And there's a guy in the background going, "Run, run!" Just like the song from DJ Thunderbase.
But
so yeah, go ahead.
With all of this going on now,
So
there's one thing. There's one person. There are some of those people that either constantly deal with it, or never deal with it at all. And we're about to give these people a very special happy birthday. And just like it said, this is our special celebrity birthday segment. So, to kick us all off, let's start it off with the biggest birthday in wrestling entertainment, the Phenom, the Dead Man. Big evil American badass himself, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, had his birthday this past week.
What was the date of his birthday?
I forgot.
All right, fine. We'll start off on March 19th.
March 24th. His birthday was
Nice.
his was the 24th.
Happy birthday. That's 2 days ago. All right, so for March 19th, we're going to start off. We have AB Ada. Why do I always do this to myself? 33 film producer. Oh my God, so many of those people. Casey Anthony, 39. Don't know why you don't have a name. Bruce Willis, 70. Movie actor. I think we went up to this far last time, but one of my favorites for Fifth Element. Straight up. One of the best movies I'll watch a million times. I don't care. Anybody says.
And
Love that.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Oh yeah, that's a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight me. It's a Christmas movie. It has the Christmas music. It has ho ho ho. And there is this Christmas tree. Everything there. It's on Christmas. He even mentions it just several times. There's presents.
Don't forget the 90s classic, or was it 2000s? The Fifth Element.
Someone was wearing a Christmas hat.
Yes, The Fifth Element. That was a good one.
Fifth Element was the best. 100%. I think that was Bruce Willis' best movie.
Of the Expendables, that he was really good in that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Expendables. All the Expendable movies. Bruce Willis, being in that one.
And there's one underrated animated series he's done. Nobody has never known about in years. Bruno the Kid. He was in that series.
It sounds familiar. Okay, next one we got is Young Gravy, 29 rapper. Sorry, do you want to finish up on that, Dom?
I was just gonna say an underrated series called Bruno the Kid that Bruce Willis was in. So not too many people know about that one.
I heard of it, but I don't remember it. Maybe once I see an image of it, I'll know. All right, and we have AJ Lee, 38, a pro wrestler.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
She's one.
Right, her birthday was?
Yes.
Wasn't
She's a
it?
pretty good wrestler. That was actually one of my favorite female wrestlers in the lineup.
Clown Prince, 23, YouTube star. Love your stuff. Sayaka Miryokui, 27, pop singer. I'm sorry if I ruined your name. All right, we're going to go to the March 20th. Let's go with... What the heck? I don't get that one. Why do I do this again? Hyojin, 25, rapper.
Oh, Hyojin.
Yep. Ruby Rose, 39, model. Oh.
Ruby Rose.
Ruby.
That name's familiar.
Now, aren't you?
That name's familiar.
She played as Batwoman at first before the injuries and or the actual death of a stunt coordinator.
Yes. She also was in a show in Netflix series called Orange is the New Black.
Wasn't she also in one of the John Wick movies?
I think so.
Good question.
She tried to play a really tough girl, but in all honesty, no. And her trying to punch through ice that was like an inch or two thick, with all the force and velocity in her small size, I was just like, no. Someone even of my mass and power, like I know how to, and boy howdy, no, it's not easy and or possible. That's why I have knives and stuff too. You stab that through and crack it, then you break through and stuff. But even then, you're still screwed unless someone's on the other side. It's very hard unless you find a weak point. I've been under ice before. It's terrifying. Suffocation is a horrible way in. This taken from a person that has been dead 3 different times and then brung back 3 different times. Thank you to the EMS people and to nice nurses and doctors. Now back to it. Chester Bennington, rock singer from
Peace.
Linkin Park.
The
May
front
he rest in peace.
Yep. May him rest in
Heavenly
peace.
birthday.
1976 to 2017. That was 2017 that he was murdered by the people that kept all the shadow stuff in Hollywood. Now that's on, cooked and gone. He was one of the best. The day I saw him for the song "Numb," that was
Not
the
sure
first
how I
song.
feel about them having a female front now.
I enjoy it, but at the same time, it's just
She's got a good vocal. She's a good vocalist. I will give her that.
I listened to all of it recently. I like what she's doing. I respect it because she's throwing her own spin, and she is covering kind of the way that Chester did.
Mhm.
It just she can't hit the notes that he can do, obviously, but he couldn't hit notes that she can do because they're vocal patterns. But nonetheless, it's heartbreaking nonetheless that I love Linkin Park. It's not going to be the same. I am enjoying some of their new stuff, but I always revert back to the first 3 albums over and over and over again. And did you guys know their original name of their band before it was called Linkin Park? They literally changed it 10 minutes before they went on and named themselves. You guys know what it was called? No? It was called Zero.
Really?
They originally called themselves Zero. And then within the course of the last few minutes before they went on to be named and who they are, they're like, we're called Linkin Park.
Very interesting fact.
And they went that way instead.
It is an interesting fact.
Awesome band though. My favorite song is In the End. I can sing that song
That is definitely
nonstop.
my favorite song, and I think their instrumental of that song, I would say that's one of the greatest.
I like the lyrical because I just love singing. All right, next one after that is Zaquan Collins.
Zani,
Wow.
Sally
I'm
Polis.
sorry. 29, R&B singer. Don't hurt me for saying your name wrong. Sorry, girl. Fred Rogers, 1928 to 2003, a TV actor.
Mr. Ross.
Wow, Mr. Rogers. Hello, Mr. Rogers. Hello, neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor?
neighbor.
Also, he won the Ultimate Showdown. Remember that?
My shoes.
Yes.
I love that song. That song is in my head now too. The Ultimate Showdown.
Then there was
He won. Remember that, guys.
Then there's also a tribute to Mr. Rogers. There was a biopic film that played his character, which was by Tom Hanks.
Interesting. I haven't got to see that one yet. I got to see the whole thing about Mr. Rogers and his wife talking, and the interview stuff was a couple hours long. It was fun. It was nice. I liked it. The guy was always healthy, nice, kind, worked out all the time. He was loving. Never did anything wrong.
Was he also a Vietnam vet?
I believe so. I believe he was ex-military.
Maybe the
I
saving.
respect him for a lot of things. I think the reason he kept a long sleeve was scars on his arms or something like that. And he decided he didn't want to show people.
Well, I mean, he did a kid show. He doesn't want to show kids a bunch of scars on his arm.
You don't want, because that's also like a worry, concern that you want that have that
All right,
image.
next. Oh yeah, very much next
Let's
though is
keep this rolling.
David
Keep this rolling.
62. Oh yeah.
That would be
If we have an
perfect.
extra person, we go a
That
little
is-
longer, but at the same time, we got to keep going.
David,
All right, next on the list is 21st birthdays.
All
Jace
right.
Norman, 25, TV actor.
Oh, that name familiar too.
Roland Doyle, 45, soccer player. Wow, you're 45 and you're still a soccer player?
Nice.
Well,
Man, you fast. Lorenzo Zulo. Wow. Why do I do this to myself? 25, a TV actor. Gary Oldman, 67 movie actor. love
Another
that
a Harry Potter actor. He is serious.
And Batman. He was in Batman. He is
He was in Batman. Yes,
he was Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon.
He was also Sirius Black in the Harry Potter series.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, just like David Thurwas, who was Professor Lupin that we just mentioned earlier.
And he was also in Friends.
Really?
He was only in there for like 2 episodes, but he was.
But we still got days to go. So
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so next is Timothy Dalton, 79 movie actor. Next on March, we're going to go March 22nd.
All right.
We're going to go to Merrick Hanna, 20, Instagram star. Interesting. I didn't know there was Instagram stars. Noah Lowland, 27, TV actor. And then we have William Shatner, 94, TV actor. Wow,
Woo!
94.
nice.
And going to March
me up, Scott.
23rd.
Well,
Loved him in Star Trek. Next on the list, we're going to go with Kyrie Irving, 33, basketball player. T. Grizzly, 31, rapper.
heard that name too many times.
And then Gino Ergerium, 71, basketball coach. Why do I do this to myself? I always do this. And last on the list for this one, C.J. Perry, 40, wrestler.
Nice.
We're going to go into March 24th. And just like we were talking about, The Undertaker, 60 years old.
Big 6-0.
Also, Jim Harrison, 52, TV actor. He shares the same birthday with The Undertaker, the guy from Big Bang Theory.
Nice.
Oh, Sheldon Cooper.
Yep,
Mhm.
Shelton.
He also was in The Muppets, the movie.
That's great. Allison
Yeah.
Hannigan, 51, TV actress. Now, she's a girl I've had a crush on for
That's
a long
Willow
time.
Rosenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yup, I loved her as Willow.
Mhm.
As she,
And
big
Lily
crush,
from,
redheads.
How I
And
Met
Witch.
Your Mother.
And
Oh,
she
yeah,
was
she was funny in that.
Mhm.
Julia from Date Movie.
Oh, John Tron, 35, YouTube star.
Hmm.
Wow.
Nice, funny.
Yes.
And last on this list. Oh, come on. Don't do that to me. Tyler Lippery, 38, TV actor.
Nice.
Oh,
March 25th.
Here we go.
Mickey Madison, 26, TV actress.
Nice.
Ooh, Elton John, 78, rock singer.
Happy
Alvin, you're great.
birthday.
Lion King album says it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Inandora, 26, rapper.
Hmm.
Carly Fleming, 28, movie actress.
Nice.
18, sorry. Wow, I read that one. The next person. Aha! I am horrible for that. Sorry for your age. Added you 10 years. We're going to go with Jeff Harley, 1966 2008. Rest in peace, buddy. Marka Cross, 63, TV actress.
Hmm.
And then last but not least, it's March 26th. We're
Good
going to go
day.
with Gavin Magus, 18, pop singer. Jen Carter, 22, is a rapper.
Hmm.
Martin Short, 75, a movie actor, and he is short.
Funny. Funny guy.
Steven Tyler, 77, rock singer. Haven't heard from him in a long time. Lucas Bravo, 37, TV actor. And then last, we're going to go with Brittany Wilson, 34, TV actress.
Nice.
Mhm.
And that's what we're doing for all our superstars for the holiday birthdays. Back to you, DJ Thunderbase.
All righty. Happy birthday to all of you. So, we're going to go real quick into our lore news. We have enough time for a little bit of that. We'll go right into that.
All right, going to our.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the spirit of talking about scammers, I thought we would talk about trickster gods, gods of mischief and cunning. Now, you may ask yourself, what is a trickster god? Well, a trickster god in the old myths was, you have to remember, a lot of these myths were told as entertainment, because there wasn't a hell of a lot to do back then, besides drinking and fornicating, and more drinking. So, a lot of these stories were told in jest in order to, lighten the mood, and that's mostly what trickster gods were. They were used as a way to lighten the mood, to enjoy life. For example, a good example of that is, now, trickster gods are all over the world. Every pantheon has at least one trickster god who's there to just cause trouble, make life tough for the gods, and have a grand old time.
Mischief makers.
Mischief makers, precisely. One of the more well-known ones, thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is our favorite mischief maker of all, Loki, the god of mischief. Now, Loki did a lot of things. He did help the gods. In the original myths, he was not actually blood related to the Thor, like he was in Marvel. In the original myths, he was more like a battle brother, like a close personal friend. But Loki did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to do, and like giving birth to the three, to Hel, Sleipnir, Hel, Jormungandr, and Fenrir. All three are very prevalent in the final tales of the Ragnarok. But his most devious thing is what really got him punished by the other gods was the killing of Balder. And in doing so, he sealed his fate. And how he was punished I think was pretty cruel. His two favorite sons were turned into wolves, forced to kill each other. And then, while Loki watched, and then they used their entrails, to bind him to a rock and have poison poured into his face for all eternity, or until Ragnarok comes, whichever happens first. Now, let's go to Africa with our favorite spider god, Anansi, mostly prevalent in West Africa. But because of Christianity, he kind of got pushed out. But they still kept him around because he was actually very well tale. He actually tricked his father to give stories to mortal kind. And using his cunning and devilry, he managed to succeed. And his father was very impressed, so he gave his stories to Anansi. And he gave stories to humanity. Now let's go to the Greek and Roman mythology. With Hermes, also in Romans, is also known as Mercury. Hermes is not just the messenger of the gods. He is also the god of thieves, the gods of the roads. Basically, he was the god of anybody who used the road. He's basically a travel god. His main name to fame, one of the ways he actually stole the red cows of Apollo. And Apollo, being rather miffed about that, tracked him down and said, "I'm going to beat you black and blue." Well, Hermes, being the clever sod that he is, invented the lyre and gave it to Apollo. And Apollo was so impressed, he forgave him and told him to go on his merry way. Now let's go on to China with a very popular one. Popular in sense because they just made a video game about him, Sun Wukong. Now, Sun Wukong, Heartsmace would love Sun Wukong because he is a devilish little trickster. He is. He gained strength. He trained himself in martial arts. He has magics that his hair can be transformed into
Many versions of himself.
and he has a weapon that can go as thin as a needle or as big as a tree. And he was given charge of one of the things that he did was he ate the peaches of immortality that was supposed to be for the gods. He was supposed to be in charge of, and the gods didn't like that. He also was very mischievous. He also drank their wine. He did to the point at which that the Buddha put him into a mountain for 500 years. Well, when he came out, not really much has changed. He still is the big mischief maker he always was. Let's see what else is there. Oh yes.
We should probably get moving on though, because we do have others. To get
Okay,
to.
I'll do one more.
All right.
There's also Prometheus. Prometheus was tricked the gods into giving humanity fire because he loved us so much, and I think that's good enough for today. Thank you for paying attention.
All right. Man, that is some great lore. Great lore. So, we will actually head in. We've only got enough time for one more segment. So, instead of doing our local news and update and upcoming events this time, we're going to jump straight to our political chat. Because I know this can last a while.
So what we got? So what do we want to talk about?
That's really up to the world now, isn't it? So, right now, I know we've been having a lot of issues with the whole Russia and Ukraine. Been hearing about that. Both sides have been bouncing back and forth, fighting each other. Russia started the fight. Ukraine keeps poking, but Ukraine's defending the best they can. The problem is they're not doing it in the legal right manners. Russia doesn't care and just wants to bomb and destroy and control everything right now, it looks like. And it's very upsetting because, man, you guys were cool at one point. You were calm. The only time you were villains were in movies. Now you guys are real villains. What kind of guys? The
Yeah,
only time I really liked you guys was in a movie called Spies Like Us.
yeah. Russia has pretty much burned any bridges they had over the last couple of years because of this war. Because before the war, Russia was not. I'm not saying Russia was perfect, but before the war, at least Russia still had amenities like McDonald's and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's important, but that's beside the. I'm just saying that they had connections to the outside world. But now, Putin has basically burned all of those bridges. Not only burned them, but he salted the earth.
He locked everything down. You're not allowed in unless you swear allegiance. If not, get out or become bargaining chips in prison. I don't appreciate it. I don't respect it. These guys need to start thinking about peace instead of pushing the buttons and blowing everybody up.
The
They
problem
don't
is,
realize they're going to hurt everybody for years for their greed, and I don't appreciate it. And I'm mayhem. I am a whole thing about destruction and chaos and blowing things up and going, yeah! But there's a time and place. This is not one of those times, nor one of those places. War in this time and age is horrible. Do it in a fucking video game. If you guys want to really have some kind of like different kind of control thing. Do a tournament. Do things like that where it's your best of your best, like how we have the Olympics. That's how the Olympics was kind of for. Whoever was the champions and won was kind of the ones that ruled for like 4 years or whatever. They shift over your best of your best of each country. Do it Gundam style. Hell, we have giant robots now. They did a giant robot fight. Japan does it. America has it. Other countries do it. Come on. We'll do giant robot fights instead. Who can win the giant robot fight? We'll make tournaments and battlefields that are safe and centric. Old decayed cities that no one lives in anymore, so we can blow them up and make them look cool. Make it a whole movie thing too. Cameras and GoPros everywhere. And you could, and guess what? You'll make more profit, less murders, less death, less innocent killings. There's less men in population now than anything because of this. Like the war itself is just the Ukraine is so desperate for people, they're taking men off the streets. And that's what hurts me about Ukraine. I used to like and support them 100%. Now I support them about, say, 70%, because that part right there, I watching them trying to pull a man from his kids. He just trying to like take home, and he's the only one that's there because the wife is dead. Like, no, that's not right. And they, thankfully, people helped get him back to his kids. But that wasn't for everybody. It's not good. It's not safe. It's not right. And a lot of these guys aren't trained. Don't know what they're doing. They're just being pulled in. It's not cool. And they do need aid, and they do need help and support from the EU that they're part of. Well, Russia themselves need to stop salting the earth with this bombardment every time they're like, okay, we can't get any further. Destroy everything ahead within this many meters with all our destruction, any kind of thing we have. Like, I've watched the drone footage. I've watched the deaths on both sides. That's not needed. Do something else. The tournament, something else. Martial arts, video games, freaking giant robots, anything else but actual murder people. Like, hey, yeah, the only people who would risk death is the people piloting the robots. Yes, that could be a thing. But besides that, you would still have something much less gruesome, much more forwarded, profitable, and then we can look forward to a future with all of us being all united respectfully and properly. Anybody else have anything? Sorry if I jumped in too much.
I think the biggest thing is that Vladimir Putin will not end this war because he is an oligarch, and oligarchs need to project strength. If he goes to the table without some sort of legitimate win on his under his belt, he won't come to the table without getting something, because he feels like he is.
You'll go to the grave with this.
Not only has he expended lives, war material, and
resources. Yeah,
thank you. He can't save face, because that would make him look weak. And the last thing an oligarch can do is make himself look weak, because if he looks weak, that means people will go up against him and change the leadership.
They've tried and they've failed several times so far.
And Vladimir Putin knows that. This man is an ex-KGB agent. He knows what it means if he tries to end this war any other way. It's either total victory or he has to get something out of it. Other than that, he's not going to end this war.
Yeah, he wants part of the land at least. He wants at least half. But the thing he's already destroyed. Like let them rebuild. Let them have a life. Like, you guys have your own land. You have more land than most people. Yes, half of it's frozen, but you still have more land. You guys have advanced technology. Focus your technology on building structures and machines that work better in the cold, that can utilize there. Build some kind of tunneling systems and train structures that go through and can move through. Like, look, guys, I'm already figuring out solutions for you. You spend your money on this. Why don't you spend your money on that? Have nuclear power instead of using it for explosives. Use it to generate and power up your stuff.
Give heat to the people.
Strengthen.
So, do
your
we have any
people.
closing So, do we have any closing statements as we get ready to end this here?
Tune in on Friday at 9 p.m. for our D&D campaign on Rolling to Die. Henry, what's the name of the campaign this week?
Drunken Dragon Brawlers. I believe this is part 4 or part 5.
I think this is part 5. Last week was part 4.
All right, so it's part 5. It's the finish. What happens at the end of the bloody ship? All right, Dom, anything you want to say?
Well, no, but I would share this one thing. Be good people. Don't be like these overloop-minded people out here that are losing their minds like loose cannons, and that's it.
Yeah, people with political derangement syndrome. That's what we'll call it instead. All right, so remember, we're done with your bullshit. It's a crazy clown world out there. Hi, hi. To you all, a good night.
And don't forget to tune in next week on Wednesday from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode of The Chaotic Mind. Once again, I am Devontae Ewing, a.k.a. DJ Thunderbase, and I am signing off, wishing you all a good night.